and welcome to our village board meeting. Video of the meeting is streamed live on YouTube and will also be available on Facebook and the village's website. I'd ask the meeting to be called to order and Clerk Saladino to call the roll.
Trustee Augustine.
Here.
Trustee Gale.
Here.
Trustee McGee.
Here.
Trustee O'Brien.
Here.
Trustee Peterson.
Here.
Trustee Thompson.
Here.
President Kukler.
Here. And we're all present and we have a quorum. And tonight, very exciting, we're going to be swearing in Police Sergeant Tim Andrews. And before that, we're going to have his family lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So we would like to welcome Daniela and Tim's daughters, Natalie and Brianna, right up to the microphone. And I think Milo may even help.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Natalie and Brianna. And Natalie's in second grade, right? And Brianna's in kindergarten. And they're both doing well, and obviously they did the pledge very, very well. Moving right into the oath of office. Sergeant Tim Andrews, as we just said, is joined tonight by his family, Daniela and his daughters, Natalie and Brianna, as well as his in-laws, Sal and Valerie Dalo. On January 17th, 2024, the LaGrange Board of Fire and Police Commissioners approved Officer Tim Andrews' promotion to the rank of sergeant. Tim's a 12-year veteran of the LaGrange Police Department and began his career with the village in September of 2012. He served as an investigator, DARE officer, school resource officer, field training officer, and most recently as squad leader. During the past 12 years, Tim is involved in a number of significant cases that resulted in his receiving numerous awards and commendations, including the Unit Citation Award. Tim attended Oswego High School. Upon graduation, he attended Eastern Illinois University, where he obtained a bachelor's degree in recreation administration with a minor in military science. Tim's a U.S. Army veteran, where he was promoted to the rank of captain. Tim deployed to Afghanistan in 2011 with the 3rd Brigade Combat Team, 1st Infantry Division, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. We thank Tim for his service to our community. We understand it's a challenging profession that you and all the men and women that are here tonight have done. We appreciate the dedication and sacrifice that you and your fellow officers have shown. We do recognize as a village board, it takes an extraordinary person that has the courage to step up and serve the residents of LaGrange in this way. And we want to make sure you know how much we appreciate that. So with that, please step forward with your family for the swearing in by Clerk Saladino.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tim Andrews,
I, Tim Andrews,
having been appointed to the office of Police Sergeant
having been appointed to the office of Police Sergeant
in the village of LaGrange,
in the village of LaGrange,
in the county of Cook,
in the county of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Police Sergeant
the duties of the office of Police Sergeant
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations again, Sergeant Andrews. That's wonderful. And keeping on with the good news, we're joined today by the village's new accounting manager, Christopher Zabinski. And Chris, if you could stand up, we want to welcome you to the village. We appreciate you joining us. We know that there's a lot of work to do, and but you got a good team, and we're thrilled that you joined us. For the people at home, Chris has a very strong background in municipal finance, and we know that he'll hit the ground running. He's been here a solid 2 weeks. So thanks again for joining our team. We appreciate it. Again, continuing on with all the good news, you may have already learned the Illinois Department of Transportation recently designated Ogden Avenue from Gilbert Avenue to Ashland as a school zone. On this segment of Ogden, on school days when children are present, the speed limit will be 20 miles per hour. I was pleased to be part of a group of individuals that helped bring about this change, which included area residents led by Chris Serra, Senator Mike Porfirio, and Representative LaShawn Ford. Those three individuals really led the charge. It's something that even before my time on the board has been trying to do. IDOT was very reluctant in the years past, but really with Chris's direction and the efforts by Senator Porfirio and Representative Ford, they were able to get this accomplished. So a wonderful, wonderful thing. Really goes along with our, as a board, priority of pedestrian safety. So with that, motorists have been encouraged to observe the new speed limit and laws regarding yielding to pedestrians, and the LaGrange Police Department will be present in this area to ensure that the regulations are followed. Restaurant Week is coming up. It will take place starting February 22nd through March 3rd. During the 10-day event, and we have a leap year in there this year. During this 10-day event, participants can experience affordable and diverse culinary offerings. Participating restaurants will offer 2 value-based lunch meals and 3 value-based dinner meals. You can visit the LGBA's webpage to learn more. And with that, I would ask if Manager Knight, if there's a manager's report.
There is. Thank you, President Kukler, and good evening, everyone. First off, congratulations to Sergeant Andrews on his promotion. We wish him the very best in his new role. This Thursday, February 16th, the police department will be conducting a railroad safety educational enforcement detail with the Metro Police Department during the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., and then again at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. This activity will be focused on the crossing near Kensington and Burlington and near the Brainerd Avenue crossing. Special thanks to Officer Comstock for coordinating this initiative with the Metro PD. Village Hall will be closed next week, Monday, in observance of President's Day. During this time, village offices will be closed, but public safety services will continue as usual. Offices will reopen on Tuesday, February 20th. President Kukler, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Manager Knight. Clerk Saladino, I'd request that you read the items on the consent agenda, followed by the items appearing under current business.
Matters on the consent agenda will be considered by a single motion and vote
because they already have been considered fully by the board at a previous meeting or have been determined to be of a routine nature. Any member of the Board of Trustees may request that an item be moved from the consent agenda to current business for separate consideration. Item A, an ordinance granting a design review permit for 38 South LaGrange Road. Item B, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement for the provision of technology services among the Village of Riverside, the Village of North Riverside, the Village of LaGrange, and West Central Consolidated Communications. Item C, minutes of the Village of LaGrange Board of Trustees regular meeting Monday, January 8th, 2024. Item D, Consolidated Voucher 240122. And item E, Consolidated Voucher 240212. Current business. This agenda item includes consideration of matters being presented to the Board of Trustees for action. Item A, a resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the Village of LaGrange and the Cook County Sheriff's Office related to the Sheriff's Treatment Response Team. That is it. Item B, an ordinance approving a special use permit and site plan for children's indoor recreation located at 25 West Callender Avenue.
Thank you, Clerk Saladino. Next on the agenda is public comments regarding matters on tonight's agenda. Seeing none, we'll move for a motion on the consent agenda.
I move for acceptance of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Gale and Trustee O'Brien. Any discussion?
Thank you, President Kukler. As previously stated, I recuse myself from voting on any agenda items related to the village prosecutor.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Going to current business, A, the resolution regarding the memorandum of understanding between the village and the sheriff has been referred to Trustee O'Brien.
Thank you, President Kukler. The Cook County Sheriff's Office has developed and implemented a treatment response team, or TRT, to reduce the impact of substance abuse and mental illness on individuals in Cook County. The TRT provides local law enforcement agencies with mental health resources to assist those suffering from mental duress, mental health issues, and/or substance use disorders with harm reduction and substance abuse treatment services. The Cook County Sheriff's Office has made this program available to the Village of LaGrange. Under the program, licensed TRT clinicians are available 24 hours a day to assist individuals under mental duress. Thus, while on a community call for service, LaGrange police officers can initiate a face-to-face Zoom session between a TRT clinician and an individual under duress. To facilitate video conferencing, the LaGrange Police Department will deploy a tablet in the field. The tablets provide a safe, quick, and cost-effective solution for individuals under mental duress to immediately speak to a mental health professional in real time. Costs associated with this program include purchasing a tablet, ruggedized case, and internet service. There are no additional costs to the Village of LaGrange for this service. The Cook County Sheriff's Treatment Response Team provides an excellent opportunity for the LaGrange Police Department to collaborate with mental health clinicians and provide mental health resources to the LaGrange community. I'd like to make a motion to approve this a resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the Village of LaGrange and the Cook County Sheriff's Office related to the Sheriff's Treatment Response Team.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee O'Brien and Trustee Peterson. Any discussion on this resolution? Trustee Peterson.
I just wondered,
talking about how, should this occur, the police officers would have to step back, and I was to make sure that the conversation taking place via Zoom would be confidential. Does this require HIPAA? Do they have to be HIPAA compliant?
Okay, I think I'd probably kick that either to Village Manager Knight or Chief Griffin.
No, what this is this is an opportunity during a call for service. So we encounter many individuals that are suffering from some type of mental duress during just normal calls for service. So rather than just only have the opportunity to interact with a uniformed police officer who, we've worked hard to provide mental health training and crisis intervention training for our officers, but it's excellent to be able to offer a clinician right on scene. So this gives us the opportunity from our tablet to go on Zoom and have the clinician there on the camera and available to answer questions and just work through a situation and help the individual out and then provide the individual with resources after the fact. It's an excellent program that will really help our department and be able to help us provide a better service to the residents when we come across these situations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And I think our legal counsel wants to jump in.
Yeah, I would also add that with the clinician and the individual who's speaking to the clinician, there would be most likely some confidentiality rules that will apply, whether it's HIPAA, whether it's other mental health confidentiality statutes in Illinois, but that would really be an obligation that would be on the clinician. Okay. But, we would, as a village, also endeavor to keep people's mental health situations confidential. We already do, and how we handle records.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Peterson. Trustee Augustine.
And I would just like to comment that I was filled with joy to read about this item. This is a kind of a long overdue and a long discussed need for all communities, so it's lovely to see this being implemented the way it's being done and that it's provided to us through the county, the sheriff's office, and it seems to be well put together, and I look forward to seeing it help you out and help our citizens out. So thanks for allowing this to come through.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and I think those is all well said. I think Sheriff Dart did a great job with this, and we appreciate the assistance that is going to make to our departments and to our community at large. So it's wonderful. Moving on to B, an ordinance for a special use permit and site for a children's indoor recreation center. And that's, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the vote. Let's get back to the vote and be official here. With that, I'd ask Clerk Saladino for a roll call vote.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. And again, that makes a lot of sense. Moving on to item B, a special use permit for a children's indoor recreation has been referred to Trustee Gale.
Thank you, Mr. President. Haijin Zhang, the applicant, is seeking approval of a special use permit to operate a children's indoor recreation area with retail and food sales, Uppers Land at 25 West Callender Avenue. This is the former Tippy Tie location. The proposed use will occupy roughly 2/3 of the 5,720 square foot first floor of the property. The basement and upper level will be used as storage. The first floor will feature an approximately 1,200 square foot play area with an inflatable bounce house and slide for children ages 3 to 12. Uppers Land will also sell sweet treats such as shaved ice, bubble tea, and cotton candy. The entire width of the storefront will be dedicated to a retail area offering international snacks and candies, and Uppers Land's branded items including toys, pillows, goodie bags, and more. There will be 3 to 4 full-time employees, and the proposed hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day, with potential extended hours in the summer. The applicant stated the business does not intend to provide private party/event rental at this time, but they may explore offering this service in the future. The application was heard by the Plan Commission on January 9th, 2024. No members of the public spoke at the hearing. The Plan Commission was generally in favor of the proposed use, finding it would support the downtown's retail and pedestrian environment, while also adding an entertainment option for families. The commissioners were supportive of Upper Lands offering private party rentals, but we're cognizant of the different potential impacts generated by venue rental operations versus general public accommodations. The commission recommended that the special use include one private party rental per week at this time, and acknowledged the applicant may request a special use amendment in the future if the need arises. After the deliberation, the Plan Commission voted 6-0 to recommend the application with the following conditions. One, the operation of the children's indoor recreation facility must not cause or allow the emission of sound in such a manner to be plainly audible for a continuous period of 1 minute or more within any building not located on the subject property, and must comply with the noise control provisions of the LaGrange Code of Ordinances. And two, operation of the children's indoor recreation facility is limited to one private party or event rental per week. Staff and the village attorney have prepared the attached proposed ordinance pursuant to the Plan Commission's direction. And at this time, I move for acceptance of the ordinance approving a special use permit for Uppers Land.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Gale and Trustee O'Brien. Any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. We want to welcome Upperland to LaGrange. We're excited that they're making the investment in LaGrange. We're excited that there's going to be another opportunity for our children to play and get some exercise, and it's all wonderful. So welcome, and we're happy that you're here. With that, we are moving right along. I would ask if there's any public comments on matters not on tonight's agenda.
Hi, everyone. Laura West from LaGrange. Just not a word on flooding again. We haven't forgotten. Spring is coming. It's not going to be good. There's people investing in LaGrange, as you mentioned, and where is LaGrange investing in itself? The residents deserve better. We need help. I hear there's plans, but I haven't heard anything, and it would be great to stay updated so residents know all the work that is going on behind the scenes. We see the work that LT is doing on their phases of their projects with the budget, with the funding source, with what they're going to do and when. And I feel like from our end, we're totally up in the air if anything is happening with them and when. I know it was referenced that in 1Q of 24, we will have an engineer report for north of 47th, and 1Q is ticking away. So anxiously awaiting some plan, ideas, relief, and action so we can stop just talking about this issue constantly, decades and decades and decades, and everyone gets the point. We're all tired of it. We're all tired. Me too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. West. We know that everybody is anxious for some announcements. We're chomping at the bit to make some announcements. We obviously doesn't make really any sense to say we're almost there, or wouldn't it be great if we get to this and have it not happen or something like that. So we really have to, let the process play out. The engineers that we hired and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on to plan the north of 47th Street sewer projects are working. We do expect that report in Q1. We do expect to present that to the public. It'll probably be a scheduling issue, especially with spring break. A lot of times the second meeting in March is canceled, so it may be into April where we have a discussion of where we're at. We are working in other areas of the village and with other players, but really hand in hand with MWRD. And we have had meetings with the MWRD. They've, at every single meeting, expressed that they want to work with us. I'm happy to continue to be able to say that with all confidence. They want a project to begin also, so we're doing that. We're working on that. We're going tonight into closed session to discuss a little bit about litigation and flooding issues. And so all that is good news, but I get it. We're all waiting for something concrete, and all we can say is getting close. So thank you again for coming out. We welcome you, and we do understand that everybody wants movement. Anybody else for come on up.
Well, we might as well open it up a little further.
Sure.
What do we know about the quarry and the litigation with those people and where the water is going to go down East Avenue?
Okay.
When is the quarry case going to take place?
Well, the quarry litigation is ongoing. We won at the trial level. We're now at the appellate court because the quarry has appealed. So their brief is due in a few weeks. They had asked for one extension. We're not sure if they're going to ask for a second extension. We're hopeful that they'll get their brief in, and our attorneys are anxious to file theirs and expect to not need any extensions to do so.
Okay. Another item I just want to bring up is we've seen all the engineering work going on. You know, in my area, I saw the engineers out taking all their measurements. The part that disturbs me the most is the amount of water that we're going to bring from Brainerd Avenue down here. And we still haven't rectified where the water is going to go. That's at East Avenue and 47th Street. Is that area going to be addressed as well in this whole flood project?
Well, a couple of different questions or statements there. Yes, the 50th Street storm sewer brings water from just east of Brainerd all the way to East Avenue. And so as currently contemplated with the lawsuit, into the quarry. The next section is 47th and East currently floods. IDOT, as you may know, is planning to signalize that intersection, and as part of that plan has flood relief that they're planning to do. And it's my understanding that their flood relief will be bringing water into the McCook ditch.
Okay, that's where we're at. We got to get clean water to the McCook ditch because all the combination sewers are the problem.
Well, right. We're talking about stormwater. So, right, anything that goes into the McCook ditch would be stormwater.
Because we already have an express sewer that's going from 51st Street all the way to East Avenue. That's why East Avenue floods now. We haven't gotten any agreement with the people at the golf course and them holding some of the water back so that the people over off of Brainerd in the 700 block area wouldn't flood. There's a lot to this. You know, it's just, we just can't take all the water from there and put it there.
No, I agree with you. Excuse me. And
you know,
yes.
But the thing is, we're not getting much insight from you people. You know, it'd be nice if you'd say, this is in the works and this is going to happen in such and such date. You know, you kind of pop it all at the last minute, and it would be nice if there was some transparency in it.
Right, and I do understand that, and I understand that. I think that's what Ms. West is suggesting too. What I tried to respond on that is, I understand that that's what you'd like, except it's more difficult for us to say things like, "Hey, this is what we're working on," and we really don't believe it'll be a whole lot of comfort if we don't achieve that. And so we're reluctant to just say, hey, we've worked really hard, and here's what we hope to do in 2 years. What we're going to do.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to hire the engineers, and the engineers are going to tell us, here are your options. And then we're going to bring that to the public, and as we debate what makes the best sense for the village. And you can say we should bring you half, completed plans, 3/4 completed plans, but we have chose to say, let's give the engineers do their work, and then we'll present it to you.
Yeah. Well, you know, we don't know what their solutions are going to be, if they're going to create reservoirs in different parks or school lots or whatever. But that's really only a temporary measure, because the problem isn't going to be solved until 2029, till the sanitary district gets their 9 billion gallon water reservoir completed over there, and we are handily going to be able to get rid of all the water that's coming to East Avenue.
Okay. All right, but I do, before you sit down, you have to say your name and address.
Oh, my name is John Pluto, and I live at 718 East Avenue.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Dan Spain. I'm the owner of the Elm at 23 West Harris Avenue. Just a couple quick things. The design review committee, I'm going to be applying, or have been trying to apply on the extension for my canopy. And long story short, I just wanted to see if the process could change. There wasn't a quorum this past month. And so, you know, this is for myself and for other business owners. I'm trying to figure out a way in which we can streamline that process or get people on that committee so that I don't have to wait a month to get a quorum, because it negatively, you know, if I can't get in front of the design review committee, it's probably another 30 days until I can get in front of you, and it just takes time. So trying to see if there's anything that we can do to mitigate that. Or so that's one comment. Second one is nice work on the speed zone with the school. That's fantastic. If you could do anything about the area over on East Avenue, coming on to Ogden. I'm not sure if that's I know it's in between LaGrange and Brookfield, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
There is a massive pothole there. I don't know how many people.
And Rick would probably know if it's IDOT roads anyway, but so East Avenue is a divider between LaGrange and Brookfield, and do we maintain the streets just, we do the west side and they do the east side, or how does it work?
Yeah, correct. We've put a temporary patch and we've contacted IDOT related to that
Okay.
specific pothole. We'll follow up again, but it's
a major
thoroughfare.
Yeah.
But did we do a temporary patch, did you say?
We did at this time of year, and with the larger vehicle traffic, that kind of frequents that area, it didn't last very long.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have had issues with their vehicles because of that, but thank you for looking into that. And then, you know, the parking study was done about a year ago. So just looking for an update on that. I haven't had any, you know, if I'm missing the meetings, which could be possible, just looking for more information, and if anything is going to be on track for any adjustments with how the village is looking at that. And the only reason I bring that up, I had an event at the Elm with 50 dentists all in from Chicagoland, and they had difficulty getting parking. So what I mean by that is they did all the proper procedures before, and you know, if there could be something where there's a lot of 2-hour and 3-hour parking, which I understand, but if there's businesses and people coming in from out of town, if there can be something set up with the village or the police department trying to figure out, you know, if somebody's going to be parking all day, is there something that the village can do for a day? Or they were under the impression that they didn't have to park at the village behind, you know, the village hall.
Right.
So just trying to see if there's anything we can work out on a temporary basis, on a daily basis.
I think we recently instituted valet parking.
So we did recently adopt a program to allow for valet parking permits. However, those vehicles still need to be parked in compliance with the posted time limits for those spaces. I believe what Mr. Spain is referring to is when a business owner has an event and would like to seek special accommodations for their patrons to be able to park in excess of the posted time limits. So if it's a 3-hour parking space, them being allowed to park there for 6 hours.
So do we have any spots, and I'm aware, it happened a while ago, but I'm aware that this group of dentists and dental specialists came into LaGrange and wanted to park for most of the day, if not all of the day. Do we have any spot that would be an 8-hour, or would they need to find a private lot for that?
Other than the metered parking that allows for, longer timeframes of parking, we don't have anything on a regular basis that's not a decal lot. We have the decal lots that allow all-day parking. Obviously, that's not what you would use for a temporary situation. You could use the metered parking on a temporary basis. But this was something that was discussed at the CEDC meeting on Thursday night in response to Mr. Spain's comment, and CEDC asked staff to take a look at putting some sort of parameters around a policy to allow for special parking accommodations on an occasional basis related to special events, as the CEDC is continuing to look at the topic of special events and updating our special event policy.
All right, and I know that Mr. Spain can understand taking 50 spots for 8 hours during our day is difficult. That's not a small ask, and I'm not saying it's not appropriate. It's 50 spots that obviously are otherwise used, and so we probably would have to put our heads together to figure out if that's where best located.
I completely understand that. Just wondering if there's anything that, put our minds together and, as we continue to grow and more businesses want to try and come in from all over, if that's a possibility.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other public comments, we're at trustee comments, and we will be going into closed session, but first, I want to open it up for trustee comments. Anybody? Trustee Augustine.
Yes, I do. Thank you, President Kukler. I've been to a couple of meetings in the last week to 10 days, a really great inclusivity meeting held at LT, put on by students and teachers and some outside collaborations. It was really wonderful, and hopefully next year a few more of us can attend. It was helpful information. I was at a Go Green event for members and a little fundraiser for them and the CCLG, Citizens Council of LaGrange. And they're looking for new members, and that's a great nonpartisan group for folks to get involved in the village, for village board, park district, library. That organization looks at candidates and issues, and it's a wonderful way to learn about the village. And I meant to mention this at a previous meeting and failed to. I was also invited by a member of the Quarry Council to join in on a Zoom meeting that they had back in, I think it was December. Everybody was Zoomed in. It was member staff from Vulcan and Heidelberg, which is formerly Hanson. And they talked about, a number of things. They talked about the number of calls they've received from the different municipalities claiming that there weren't many, and it didn't seem like a really big deal to them. We who feel those blasts, get the dust, are troubled by the trucks. It is a big deal for us. They don't seem to feel that. It was a very interesting meeting. They talked very casually about most things, one of which, for those of you who haven't felt any blast lately, it's because they're on hiatus. There's not a lot of demand for gravel at the moment, but they will be picking up again in March. And on that note, the group on Facebook that many of you are members of continue to look there for updates on a resident group who's putting together some information to address these issues with the quarry. So hopefully that is coming. The plan I hear is prior to March. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine. Any other trustee comments? All right. At this time, it is the intention of the village board to meet in closed session under sections 2C11, to discuss matters that are or will be in probable litigation. 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body. And 2C21 to discuss minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act. The village board will not reconvene to open session, and no formal action will occur during the closed session.
If I may.
Yes, please.
You mentioned for 2C11 probable litigation, but I also think you want to include pending litigation.
Probable and pending litigation. Thank you. I assume I don't have to re-say it.
No.
We're good there? And do we do the motion here for?
We do a motion and then roll call vote.
I have a motion, a second to enter into closed session.
A motion?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine and Trustee Gale. And a roll call vote, Clerk Saladino.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. We appreciate it.